All right. What does it mean to transcend? Well, all of us are living in an eternal sleep right now. All of us are living in a realm that we believe and perceive to be true, to be real, to exist. We think, whether we just think it logically or truly, fully believe in the reality of our senses, we think that the external world that we are a part of is true reality. This is true life. Or at least the vast majority of us have been taught to believe that and to think that. So, transcend. What would this entail? Well, transcending usually means lifting up or raising to a higher level, to a higher perspective. So you can transcend multiple states in one life. You can transcend multiple different. You can transcend through multiple aspects of self, of your life. You may transcend in one area, or it may be overall as your whole life. Often we think of it in, at least in spiritual communities and spiritual realms, transcending is often seen as one giant leap, essentially, metaphorically speaking. It is a leap from physical being to eternal being. And ultimately, we are all eternal beings, just inhabiting these physical bodies, living in this body right now, existing in it. And transcending from anything means, if you take it literally, the word transcend is transcend, ending the trance that we are in, the hypnosis that we are currently existing in, whether it be collectively, individually, societally, as a family. It can be in many different realms, interpreted into many different areas, but ending the trance that you are in allows you to reach a new level of perspective in any area of life. So this is taken holistically as the transcending of the physical body into a more spiritual body. We're embodying God, spiritual qualities of the divine in man, in our physical form. But it can also be applied in smaller terms, much smaller terms. You can transcend. I think it's a better way to describe evolving or becoming enlightened, right? Not transcending can be used as a way to speak on an evolution from one stage of life to another stage of life for any aspect of your life. So you can use it financially, for example. You can transcend from being someone who works a minimum wage job, let's say. You can take this very, very realistically, or you can go very very unrealistic, or unrealistic to many people's understandings of what you can achieve. But you can look at it in a normal, let's say, in a normal kid in the US who grows up, works a minimum wage job, maybe in high school. let's say they graduate, get a high school degree, then they go on to college, they work maybe a little bit more than minimum wage job, do some intermediate while working in college, they get a degree from college. And then once they get that degree, that enables them to reach a new level of financial abundance, or a new level of finances that they can bring in for themselves. So they go from the perspective of, oh, I can only make minimum wage job, or I can only make, X amount of money while going to school, to now I am able to get a salary, maybe six figures right out of college in some areas, in some fields. And so it opens up the mind to being able to see new levels, new heights that you can reach, new transcending from where you were before to where you are now. And then you can go even further. Maybe you become an entrepreneur, a business owner, and then you all of a sudden are like, wow, I'm able to make multiple six figures a year, or maybe seven figures in a year, whatever. But the point of that is that you go from in one stage of the trance, wherever you're at, you can't see how the level above you would be possible. So no matter where you are in your life, you are at a certain level, and there's another level, so to speak, that you can get to, that you can reach, you can achieve, a higher peak that you can reach, if you want to call it that. And you probably just can't quite see it. But then you get there, and it becomes extremely obvious, extremely clear to you that it has been there the whole time. Because ultimately, everything is here right now, all the time. Anything and everything is here in this moment. It all exists now. But it's not until you truly allow yourself to conceptualize it and to realize it that you see, oh yeah, this has been available to me this whole time. So the reason I say this is because you can use it in your life as a means. If you're stuck or you feel like you're not where you want to be, think of where you have been in whatever realm. You can use it holistically as your whole self. You maybe just feel stuck everywhere, but it's easier to break it down into parts so you can realize exactly where you are stuck, where you need movement. And if you do, obviously you don't need anything. You don't need to become anything or anyone, but you desire to do it. So realize where you are stuck, if it's financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, whatever realm it is, and see where you were at in the past. Go back and look at who you were before, where you were at on that level, where you are now. See how you have ended the trance that you were in to be in the state you are now. And then you can apply that same method to get to this next level. If it's, financially is the easiest thing I can think of right now. Financially, you want to be at this next stage of, let's say you want to make seven figures a year. Well, see how you jumped from making 5 to 6 figures, or from single six figures, like 100,000, 150,000 US dollars, to 2, 3, 4, 500,000. If you're there, right? And obviously apply this wherever you're at. See how you get from one to the next stage. And then once you can reverse engineer it, in your mind, see how you broke the trance, how you ended that. And all of it ultimately is just your perception. You thought you were only capable of making 100,000. You thought you were only capable of making 50,000. You thought you were only capable of making $30,000 a year, until you realized you were able to make more. You were capable of making more. And so that applies with everything in any aspect of your life. You are capable of having more of whatever it is that you desire where you're able to have what it is that you desire right now. You just need to see how you can go from where you're at to the version of you who has that. Break the trance of who you are now and become who you are when you have that which you desire. All right. Love you guys. Peace.